Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm really excited about this video today as it's the first one in a 2 to 3 part series about WP Forms. What makes this exciting is that it's my first giveaway. I've kindly been given some pro licenses from the developers of the plugin I'm showcasing today. That means that 2 subscribers will be getting a $200 pro license in the final video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't so that you can get notified when I release them. A little bit about this video is to showcase the WP Forms Lite version of the plugin. It can be incredibly flexible, especially if you're being creative, which is what the first video of this series is all about. The video will cover simply adding a contact form to using WP Forms to create a multi-page survey or data collection process. I'll go through some basic styling of the plugin also. That way you'll have some pointers to make your own form look amazing. So I've mentioned a part 1, that meaning there will be a part 2 and if required possibly a part 3 in this series. This video will cover only the light features of the plugin, in other words, the free version. Part 2 and the possible part 3 will be an in-depth look at the pro version and showcase some of the awesome features that come along with it, like payments, calculations, and a ton more functions. Stay tuned and I recommend subscribing so you'll be notified about part 2 and part 3 regarding those free pro licenses giveaway. Let's get started. Okay, so let's go and install the plugin. We'll go to Plugins, Add New. Next we'll go to Search Plugins and we'll type in WP Forms. You'll see WP Forms on the left side here, and we can just go and install now. Okay, then when it's installed we can just click activate and you'll see a welcome screen from WP Forms. But right now let's go and create our first form. Okay, so we'll start off with a blank form. Okay, but first we'll need to put in our name of the form, so we can just call it contact form. Then we can select create blank form. Now you'll see here there's a lot of field types that we can choose from, like single line fields or paragraph text, different drop downs. Since we're just setting up a simple contact form, I'll require a name, I'll require an email address, a contact number, and we can add a drop down. Next we'll be editing these fields, so we'll just click on the name field. I'm just going to leave it as name. You'll see we've got a format. I'm going to choose a simple format. We can add a description, which will add a description at the bottom, like your first name. We can choose for it to be required or not. Next, we'll go to advanced fields. I'm going to make it a large field, and the reason for this is so that the form fields is part of a container that we're going to place the form into. If we use a medium-sized field, for example, this might become a problem with the containers. So to be safe, always just choose the large field so that it gets contained within the container that you add it into. So our placeholder text, which I will be adding, and I'll be doing this because it looks a little bit more modern than actually having the name at the top. So instead we'll have the name in the box like this, and then we can hide the label like that. So here we can add our CSS class if we wanted to do some specific styling. That's not going to be the case with these boxes, so we'll skip this for now and move on to the email address. Again, with the email address, if you wanted your visitors to be able to confirm their email addresses, they can do it here. Then we'll go to advanced and we'll apply the large field size. Again, we'll do a placeholder text with numbers. This is for your telephone numbers. Again, we'll do the same thing. Again, as the label, we can make this contact number. I'll leave the description out. Click on advanced. Again, we'll adjust this to large. Our placeholder text will of course be contact number. Let's go to the drop down field. Now as drop down, we can, for example, select services and add our choices here. These are our default radio buttons. If we wanted service 2 to display, by default, we'll have it set up like that, or service 3, and so on. I'm going to leave it on service 1, and let's select advanced. Here we can select multiple choices, or we can keep it as a single option. We will of course make this field size large, and then our placeholder text. Okay, now that we're done with our fields, let's go over to settings. Now under settings and general, you'll see there is our form name, which we'll leave as contact form. The form description will leave the same. And then submit button text. I'm going to make it a little bit friendlier to read to submit form. Then submit button processing text, and I'll change it to something like contact information. Then under Advanced tab, you'll see those CSS class options again. Again, we're not going to do anything with that, so I'm going to leave them empty. Next, we'll go to Notifications. And you'll see Send to Email address, which will be the admin email that you've set up with your WordPress installation. And if we'd like to add another email, we can simply type in a comma and a space and the other email address. And we can add multiple emails here. This is the email that will be receiving the contact information. I'm going to leave it as contact form. And then the from email box, we can leave as admin email. Next would be a reply to email address, and we'll just leave it empty for now, but you can also of course add any email address that you would like to add in there. And then lastly, the email message, which contains all the fields that will be completed by the visitor. Let's go to confirmations. For the confirmation type, we'll leave it on message. And here by the confirmation message, we can add any message we'd like our visitor to see after the form has been successfully sent. In this case, we'll leave it as it is. Now we can click Save and Exit. Now for adding the contact form we've created to our contact page. I'm not going into any great detail with regards to adding the contact form, as it's pretty simple to do. Because our theme demo was built using Elementor, I'll be using it to showcase this quick overview on adding the contact form to your page, as well as some simple styling techniques. As a side note, I found that WP contact forms work best with an additional plugin called Essential Add-ons for Elementor. This plugin basically complements the Elementor features, so it isn't exclusive to WP forms, but adds a nice flexible touch, so it is certainly recommended if you are a beginner or new to WordPress with no CSS experience in styling your content and its elements. So the first step is to head to Pages, then scroll over your contact page and select Edit with Elementor. I've added this form using the widgets from the Essential Add-ons for Elementor plugin. So how you can find this, you'll just simply search the widget and type in WP Forms, and you'll see it there. From this point you can drag it wherever you would like. Then you'll select your form, and in this case we'll select contact form, and this is how it looked when it was in default. I'm going to delete this form and show you how I've done some of the edits on here. So we'll just click on the Edit WP Forms button, and you'll see some of the buttons I've activated and deactivated here. Going to your styling tab, You'll see that I've changed the background color, I've done some form alignments, I've added a bit of padding, and I've added a border radius for that rounded effect. Again, this is why I recommend using the Essential Add-ons plugin for Elementor. It's just all these styling effects that you can add to it, and you can literally go into every bit of detail in order to edit it. I'm going to stop this video here and extend this video regarding the WP Forms Lite plugin onto another episode so that we can cover the data collection survey video separately. My intention was initially to keep both of those forms on one video, but this one has become somewhat lengthy, especially for adding another form. This way, this video remains easy and simple, and of course the following one will be just as simple with the knowledge of this one. Stay tuned and like and subscribe if you found this useful. Remember that we'll be giving away those free Pro licenses in the coming weeks when I showcase the Pro version. Till next time, and thanks for watching.